Krishnamurthy.
And I am Parth Sharma. We've travelled about 2,000 miles from home to meet some friends.
They're about as tall as this.
Their toenail is as big as your hand.
They can weigh as much as 6 cars.
These guys can eat up to 20 hours a day.
But then when do they sleep?
Talking of sleep, we've actually been up from 4:30 in the morning and flown 3 hours from New Delhi to Thiruvananthapuram in South India. Our driver James was driving us to a little town called Koni, about 150 kilometers from the airport. Set in the foothills of the Western Ghats, Koni sits at about 1,000 feet above sea level. The best time to come and visit our mystery friends is between October and March.
Hi, we've reached the elephant training camp in Kuni. It's about 3 hours away from Thiruvananthapuram, the capital of Kerala.
And soon you'll meet our friends.
Koni has one of 3 elephant rescue camps in Kerala. The other 2 are in Kodanad and Wayanad. These captive Asian elephants are rescued from the wild. Looked after by a team of mahouts or elephant keepers, some elephants are also trained to become working elephants in the jungles around here.
And one of the most experienced mahouts here was Shamsuddin. We were here to spend 5 days with him and his elephant Surendran. Shamsuddin has been a mahout for 18 years, as was his father before him.
Namaste, bhaiya.
Welcome.
My name is Parth.
Shamsuddin took us around, but all that he seemed to be showing us were name boards, empty pens, and some more name boards.
Anyway, after having seen a lot of boats, we did see the first of our Asian elephants. There was this huge male tusker who was being kept separate from the rest of the elephants. I wanted to know why.
This is Soman. He's 65 years old and he's the oldest elephant in the center. And he's been here for about 15 years. But I'm not going close to this big tusker because sometimes elephants become aggressive during the mating season. And right now, he's musk. And I am going.
In the musk condition, a sticky, strong-smelling fluid rich in the male hormone testosterone runs down their cheeks. This is what causes them to be aggressive. Captive male elephants can be in musk from 1 day to 11 months.
This is Surendran. He's 9 years old. 2.5 years ago, he was found lying next to his mother's body. What is this?
Toti, elephant control and remote control.
Okay.
Elephant.
Okay. This elephant is a very clean elephant. He cleans his food on his foot before he eats.
Meena, a 17-year-old adult female, has been at the center for the past 15 years.
In Asian elephants, the males have really large tusks. But in females, like Meena, they have really short tusks or they don't have them at all.
The Indian, Sri Lankan and Sumatran subspecies all make up the Elephas maximus or the Asian elephant. In the wild, their forms spread across India, Sri Lanka, southern China, and parts of Southeast Asia. Their unique and completely boneless trunks have over 100,000 muscles.
It's like rubber.
Their thick, dry, paper-like skin is still sensitive enough to feel a fly sitting on its body. But the really amazing thing is that elephants actually walk tiptoe. Even though they have large feet, the base of the foot is actually just a large pad of flesh.
And this is Eva. All are 7. She's the youngest elephant here. An elephant calf is born in about 22 months. Shamsuddin finally reminded us that we didn't actually have a roof over our heads yet.
Our tent, we're putting that peg first so you can see how it's becoming like a skateboard ramp, up and down. So right now we just had to take out a whole one side because it was too tight. We wouldn't be able to sleep comfortably. So if it rains, we need to put an extra cover on top of the tent. And now that all the hard work's done, we are going to hit the sack. Where's Pathar Sharma? Can I go back to sleep? I'm coming!
When Path and I met up, we realized that there was something at the back of our minds that had bothered us through the night. We found out what it was pretty quickly.
It's nice that camps like this take care of injured and orphaned elephants, but they shouldn't be chained and they should be given a free space where they can move. For example, an area which is fenced where tourists can come and take pictures and enjoy the elephant with the mahots. Right now we're going to bathe the elephant in the Achan Govil river.
The elephants walk 2.5 kilometers to this river every morning to have a bath. Shamsuddin says that this is the highlight of any elephant's day. They were more than happy to just lie on their sides while the mahots, Path and I scrubbed them down. We were using dry coconut shells to scrape off all the dried dust and mud from their huge bodies.
The elephant's skin is very rough and their hair is sort of, it's not pricky, but if you look at it, it's like needles. Of the nose and the upper lip. It helps them carry logs, pluck leaves and drink water. It also helps them to have a bath by collecting water in their trunks and squirting it on themselves. Young elephants drink up to 200 liters a day and adult elephants drink up to 250 liters a day. That's about me having 800 glasses of milk a day.
Their trunks can hold up to 6 liters of water at a time. As we walked back to the camp, the mahout stopped on the way and applied a rice paste known as puttu to the elephants. This is a mahout's way of making the elephants look attractive.
The elephants have just come back from a bath and they're really hungry. The Shamsuddin Bhaiya and us are going to make some food for them. Shamsuddin Bhaiya has told us that there are 7 ingredients in this: water, salt, jaggery and turmeric. The other 3 are flour, sugar and a South Indian cereal called ragi. Lots of smoke coming out of this, and in the local language it's called poga. And Bharati is stirring this elephant food with a stick that looks like a cricket bat. Since adult elephants need to eat about 150 kilograms of food every day, we did have a lot of food to make. I wonder what it tastes like. I'm thinking of asking Parth to become the official elephant food taster. What do you say, Parth?
Well, it looks awesome, but I won't have it. This is called an anekud or an elephant cage. This was built in 1942 and 6 elephants can fit in this.
Earlier, wild elephants were captured and kept here. They were trained to carry logs and clear forests. But since 1977, capturing wild elephants has been banned.
While waiting for the food to cool, we went off to see elephants in ways that we hadn't seen before. Let's just say we got an inside look.
As you can see, the skull is really huge, which supports the trunk and the tusks.
The skull has cavities that helps the elephant make a low growl that can be heard really far.
The Asian elephants have 5 toes on the front legs and 4 toes on the back legs. They are nearly round and really well padded.
So here's my friend Mr. Skull and Mr. Lower Jaw. Elephants have 4 teeth apart from the tusks. The bigger ones appear at the back and push the old and worn out ones out just like a conveyor belt. Earlier in the morning we made the food and now we're going to feed Surendran.
Each captive adult elephant eats about 25 to 30 balls of food like these ones. Since their trunks are really heavy, Shamsuddin told us to feed them from the side. Because if one of the elephants accidentally drops his trunk on us, we wouldn't have a head left.
Humans are either left-handed or right-handed. Similarly, elephants are either left-tusked or right-tusked. How do we know which one they use more? The one that they use more is slightly shorter and is rounded at the tip. Tusks are the most valuable part of an elephant. They are the upper incisors in their jaw. They grow between 15 to 18 centimeters a year.
And this is what elephants are cruelly poached for. Most Asian ivory is smuggled into countries like China, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea.
After our 4-legged friends, we went looking for some with just 2 legs. Shamsuddin has two children, Shifas and Shafna. The only problem was that we didn't speak their language, Malayalam.
You watched the TV?
With sign language, broken English and Malayalam, we decided to play some cricket. We didn't have a bat, so Shamsuddin Bhaiya has made a bat out of a coconut branch.
Yes. Under speed, close, slowly.
After lots of cricket, we've come here to eat a South Indian meal with Shifas and Shafna.
This is my mother, Sophia.
Auntie Sophia served us in traditional Kerala fashion. We were to eat on a banana leaf. Boiled rice was served with lentil curry. I see, and it's a good combination. Auntie, your food is fantastic. Thank you for the food. We stayed with captive elephants for a few days, and now we're going to try and see some wild elephant in a jungle called Mundamudi.
There are about 25,000 elephants in the wild in India today, and of these, about 6,000 live in and around the forest of Kerala. We were driving deep into the forest to try and spot even one herd of these wild elephants. But then,
So what happened is, the path was very slippery, so the car slipped and fell into a hole.
It's gone and got itself stuck, so we have to walk.
The river's named Kallar. Do elephants come here and bathe?
Some water.
After walking about 2 kilometers on the jungle trail, we came to the banks of the shallow river Kallar, which is supposed to be a watering hole for herds of wild elephants.
The Asian elephants live in herds of between 3 and 40. The leader of the herd is an old female, and the male leaves the family when he's about 14 years.
I wonder what Mom and Dad would have to say about me leaving home at 14.
Even when it's really, really hot, the leader knows where to find the water. She shows the way to the rest of the herd.
And we're sitting by the river to see if we get lucky. We waited quietly, but all we saw were some birds and, surprisingly, a tree full of sleepy bats. Just no elephants. Asian elephants are an endangered species who face many threats. Their forests are being cut down to make farms. When the elephants eat the crops, the farmers kill them in anger. They are being poached for their ivory tusks. If we don't save the gentle animal, soon it'll be extinct. The number of Asian elephants in the wild is about 50,000, which is only about 10 to 15% of the population of African elephants.
After having waited for a couple of hours, we decided to head back to see if our jeep had got unstuck.
We waited for the elephant. It didn't come. So we have to do some more fun stuff.
Back at camp, Shafaz, Shafna, Path and I all got to ride bareback on Meena. Because I knew Shamsuddin really loved his elephants, I had to ask him something that was on my mind.
If you hit the elephant on a sensitive point like the leg, won't it pain the elephant? And don't you feel bad?
വടി തെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ശിക്ഷിക്കാനുള്ളതാണ് വടി.
So Shamsuddin Bhaiya said you have to control the elephant, and if you don't, he'll walk away so he doesn't feel bad.
We stopped here for breakfast and now we'll go with Meena and Surendran to the Kumbanur forest.
I'm feeling exactly like a mahout. The hair's a little pokey, but I don't mind. It's nice to feel the ears flapping on you.
An interesting little fact we were told was that like a human fingerprint, each elephant's ear is also completely unique in shape and pattern.
Elephants are really good swimmers. They sometimes walk or swim underwater, using their trunks as snorkels. These long trunks also give elephants a fantastic sense of smell. If you want to know how to tell an African elephant apart from an Asian elephant, this is what we researched up.
The Asian elephant is about 10 feet and is shorter than the African elephant.
Asian elephant's ears are smaller than the African elephant's. Its trunk is smoother than the African elephant's and only has one finger at the tip, while the African elephant's has two.
The Asian elephant's head is smaller than the African elephant's and it has 2 domes on its temple.
The African elephant has 21 ribs, but the Asian elephant has one less. Its backbone curves upwards.
The two species of elephants also live in different habitat. The Asian elephants can have a range of 500 square kilometers. We definitely didn't walk 500 kilometers, but we were really thirsty. Shamsuddin had the perfect answer: fresh coconut water from his own coconut tree.
Meena and Surendran were not to be left out either, so they went to cool off in their own special way.
After a long tiring day, Shamsuddin lit some fire to help control the mosquitoes, as well as burn off the waste collected through the day at the camp. From what we've seen over the last 5 days, the mahouts and the elephants share a special bond. They almost seem like a family. Since one of the uses of captive elephants is for logging in forests, in elephant camps like this one in Koni, the mahouts poke, prod, cajole, and scream at elephants to train them.
For us, there was something wrong with this picture.
So right now what you saw is not looking good. So we told the mahouts to stop because Surendran's such a young elephant. He's as old as us, like 9 years old. I don't know about the elephants. Maybe it's not paining them, but from my side, it didn't look good at all. We also sometimes feel that these elephants wouldn't be captive and stay free in the forests.
After all the pain and upset of the morning, there was only one thing to do: an elephant's favorite food.
I can't go close to Soman because he's a little frisky and he's doing little mad things right now. It's our last evening here in Koni and we made some really good friends. Each elephant is special in its own way. Like Eva's the baby of the bunch. She does baby things. Surendran is as naughty as us. He's like our brother from a different mother. Priyadarshini is like a serious and sensible mother. What do I say about Meena? She's a darling, our favorite. We didn't get to know Suman really well. He's a bit musk. Maybe next time. Elephants are lovely creatures and we hope that they're around for a really long time.